What's up, guys? It's Eric here with a VOD review. I know we haven't done one of these in a sec, but I wanted to put a VOD up for this patch specifically because it has been so crazy. You'll also notice I'm wearing glasses. These are my blue light glasses. I still don't actually wear glasses yet, but just want to keep the screen fatigue to a minimum because I've been playing a lot of TFT. So yeah, we're watching Wasianiverson today, one of the best players in North America. Went to Worlds last year, won the mid-set tournament last year, I believe. That's how he auto-qualified for Worlds. So yeah, he's gonna end up selling the Jace here, which just goes to show how little people are interested in playing Piltover after the nerfs. But the main thing that I want to talk about in this patch is just the absolute state of TFT. You looked, he just tabbed through 4 people. They all had the Draven Legend. If you have not played games on this patch yet or watched some streamers on this patch yet, your mind is gonna be blown. And if you have watched some TFT on this patch yet, then it'll be no surprise to you some of the things that happen this game, but I want to really come with the approach for how someone like Wasianiverson is playing on this patch. You'll see rerolls augments there, but immediately grabs the Spoils of War. If you guys don't know, Spoils of War at all levels, I believe, was buffed this patch, and some of Draven's other augments were buffed as well. He immediately slams Gunblade here. I was actually a big proponent last patch of slamming IE in exactly this position, go for IE Gwynsu, flexing between Zeri and Aphelios, but we're in a state where Zeri's actually a lot weaker. So yeah, you see Wasian here, and even his opponent both slammed an early Gunblade. Wasian was talking about slamming Gunblade, and then you can flex between like a lot of the carries in the game. In this spot specifically, slamming Gunblade and then potentially going Guardbreaker from Carousel. And then you can flex between Azir and Kaisa really easily. Yasuo doesn't even necessarily use Guardbreaker terribly. But you can play both of those carries very, very easily. So I really like this angle from Wasian. The other thing you'll notice is that he held a lot of pairs, right? Early on, you could have potentially just like full sold and made 20 gold, but the Spoils of War playstyle is you hold as many pairs as possible without completely destroying your econ, because hitting a 2-star unit is going to skyrocket your ability to win the early game and win fights. Also, it's really important to play strongest board. I honestly, look, I wanted to put this as my title, but I didn't stream yesterday just because I played too much before stream yesterday, and so I was like, fuck it, I can't stream tomorrow. Or yesterday, which was the tomorrow of the previous day. Um, but I honestly like maybe people are gonna come for me for this take. I honestly think this patch is like really good. I mean, it's obviously not balanced whatsoever, and it's like pretty horrible that there's like one dominant strategy. Also, he points this out here, but like, look at this. He beat a Renekton 2 board. His entire board's 1-star just because of the power of the Sionia opener. So yeah, definitely if you can go for the Sionia opener, because like, my god, it is one of the strongest openers in the game. And you see he's going to pick up the Giant's Belt here, go for his Guardbreaker, and now he can flex a ton of different comps from this position, and they're also strong item slams early. Um, but yeah, like, what does this patch reward? Because like I said, if you guys haven't seen games on this patch before, what we're going to do here is we're going to take Spoils of War. We're likely going to take Draven's 3-2 augment balance budget, which is going to give us more econ. And then at 4-2, we are going to likely take Rolling for Days, which is going to allow us to roll 4 days and potentially hit a 3-star forecast. So what does this patch actually reward? It rewards playing strongest board, which is, I think, one of the most important and hardest things to do in TFT. It rewards scouting and staying uncontested, because you can't hit a 3-star forecast if you're playing a comp that's super, super contested. And it also rewards just like having an understanding of how to cap out your board when you have a ton of gold, or rolls equal gold in this situation. So yeah, it's, I know it's a crazy take, but I honestly think like this patch might be really, really good. Um, he ends up fighting this person here who has a quite strong board here, 3 upgrades. But see, like, they're literally just playing a random Cassio 2 on their board just to play for strongest board. Everyone is playing the strongest board at all times. But you see, even though Wei loses this fight, he had a 4 streak. He still managed to make 50 gold there because of the Spoils of War gold and because of his win streak gold so far. So he's in an incredible spot econ-wise. He's also 96 HP. So the way you want to play this patch out is find those early 2-star units, hold as many pairs as possible. Now he's found a Warwick too, which is really, really good. He also ends up getting dropped a Lux here and Aphelios. I haven't played too much around Aphelios on this patch. And then boom, suddenly a couple more pairs come in, and now he has a set 2 and a Gen 2. So He is probably strong enough if you hit some 2-star 2 costs to go fast 8 in this meta, especially with his level of Econ and how strong his board is. You also notice that he immediately sold the Aphelios. Maybe just not an Aphelios believer. Also, because it's just too sort of like hard to play Aphelios from this spot, but Lux is actually very reasonable to play with like Nazir board. You see he's also holding the Talia. So he's really angling potentially for a Nazir game, but obviously he can still be open to playing other stuff. And also, my god, look at this Lux, 2400 damage. All right, so we'll look at our other augments here, but we're 96 HP, so it can't be transfusion. Recombobulator would be funny, but he actually doesn't have a lot of 4 costs. If he had some more 4 costs, maybe, but just the Lux isn't great. And we can just take Balanced Budget, which is going to give us 20 gold over 4 rounds, which is a lot of gold, especially when we're already at 60 here. Just add the Balanced Budget gold, and we're at 80, and then, natural gold generation will be at well over 100 gold if we don't put any gold into leveling by the end of the stage. Though he will probably go fast level 7. But yeah, he is just smooth sailing at this point with his set 2, with his Warwick 2. And so I wanted to talk about this game. Wei Jin, you can see his scores in the top left. Wait, you actually can't see his scores because my head's covering them. But you can see his scores now in the top left. Absolutely insane average of 2.6. Wei Jin is someone, he said, like, and also just look at this play here. He goes level 7 at 3/3, just to push tempo even harder. I think a lot of people would probably say, oh, he's just a high roller. Oh, like this game doesn't really show very much. But like I think this game, and also if you go to his channel and watch more of his games, maybe we'll VOD review some more of his games, and we'll put them up. The foresight to level there, the foresight to play the Lux instead of actually angling for Deadeye here, because you need to be able to angle for Azir. Like, all of those things, all those small decisions, especially in a meta like this, make a ton difference. So, I mean, if you think the game is all luck and that Wei Jin's going first because, he's lucky, then I would just, recommend you play some games on this patch here, and you will see. Speaking of luck, though, he does hit a double Yasuo shop here, which means he now also has the possibility of playing like an Ionia Yasuo game. Um, It'll be interesting though, if I remember correctly. It'll be interesting to see what comp he goes for. I'll just say, because he actually like scouts the lobby and says, "Oh, there are actually like a lot of people angling Ionia. This person's angling Ionia, for sure, and maybe there's some other people as well." He's still winning every fight though, which is very very helpful to be able to play the game. This is in many ways just an ideal Draven game. So if you have a game that looks like this, you'll do very well. Ends up getting the Yasuo here over the Irelia just because it's a slightly stronger unit here. And is still holding the Swains, right? Because you can play Swain on 8 in the Lux plus Azir comp. So really, at this point, he's just waiting to see what he is going to hit on his level 8 roll down. He has enough HP to surely go fast 8 and enough Econ to go fast 8. So he's just going to chill on this board until 4-2, and then very likely use rolling for days to spike his board, and see what he can hit on level 8. So let's see what happens when he gets there. Gets his, I believe that's his last, his last cash out from Balanced Budget. So he is sitting at 100 gold here, level 7. And let's not forget that we're in Scuttle Puddle. So a lot of other people have a ton of Econ as well, but that has also contributed to Wei Jin's just insane Econ this game. So yeah. A few other items here could be something like QSS, Sunfire. It depends on the comp that he's going to play for sure. He's not going to pre-pump his Econ at all because of the fact that he ends up going second Guardbreaker Gargoyles. Um, I think this guy's just a Guardbreaker lover, honestly, which I mean makes sense, especially like all these Azir players are likely to play Strategist, so you can get Guardbreaker every single time there. And outside of that, units like Shen, I think most boards actually, now that I think about it, like Azir is going to have shields on frontline, Shen is going to have shields on frontline. Those are the two most dominant comps. But yeah, I mean, you look at augments here, there's something like Ionia Crown, it's great, you get a third Guardbreaker. But I mean, rolling for days, it is 35 free shop refreshes. It's essentially 70 gold of econ that it guarantees you. So why would you not take this and then just go for like a 3-star 4 cost? But here's where he makes a really cool call out. You would think that, normally in this situation, you would play for a Ionia Yasuo board, or maybe even an Azir board. He makes the call out that wow, this Gwen unit is actually really, really uncontested. What if we rolled for Gwen instead of all of this stuff? You see, he's even like skipping the Luxes. He's already hit the Yasuo too. He's saying, okay, my AP carry. I mean, yeah, she is AP, but she's not like a caster in the regular sense of it. Is going to be Gwen here. And look, we're going to play this 4 challenger board for now using Gwen and then using Callista as another challenger unit. Really, really cool idea here. And then we're also just going to play a lot of strong 5 costs like Rise, who's just like a great unit to get in, and he is Invoker with the Shen. And so now we can keep rolling. We even find an Ari. We find Scion 2. Um, yeah, like now he's really hitting his board. But like this is such a cool board, right? I mean, you're gonna see the evolution of the board later. This is a really really cool innovative board, and this is how someone like Wasianiverson is able to go first so many times on a patch like this, where it's not just about who hits on the strongest comp, especially on this patch. And he can just pick up a Senna here for free, which is amazing. Especially on this patch, it's identifying what the contested lines are. You see how much this guy is scouting. It's really, really important to identify an uncontested line here. He even makes the call that, okay, I can't actually play Jarvan on this board. He wants to keep the Ionia in, so it's actually like too hard to play around Jarvan here. So he's just going to keep rolling here. It's another Gwen here, so finally Gwen 2 after a ton of rolls. He's actually low on rolls at this point, right? Yeah, he just finished his rolls, but he is still 50 gold with a relatively strong board. Yasuo and Gwen are going to be decent, just buddies chopping up the front line together. And this Scion is also going to do a ton of work. You see the Scion actually dealt most damage. I think Scion might be one of the most broken 5 costs in this meta, just because of how strong he is. He's just a big, tanky, really big guy. And I think a big part of this meta is also knowing how to play around 5 costs, how to slot in 5 costs on your board, and make a creative board like this, where he's actually fitting in 3 Ionia. But he's still got like Irelia on his board. I think there's a big tension that he has right now, which is trying to actually figure out what his strongest board is. You see he's constantly swapping units in, swapping units out. This as well is something that just like goes to show the level of player skill expression. When you have this much gold, you can build almost any board you want. So the question is, what board do you build? Do you play Ari over Irelia here? I believe he ends up just swapping the Ari in over Irelia. Hits another sedge here, so now we have 6 sedges, and like I said, he identified a line that, there's not that many sedges out of the pool, there's not that many Gwens out of the pool, so he can play this pretty uncontested board, and boom, some more Gwens, some more Gwens, some more Gwens. Like he's now 5 Gwens, 6 Gwens, and now he's actually getting dangerously close to hitting Gwen 3-star or Sejuani 3-star. Items-wise here, it's a bit awkward, right? Yeah, he ends up going Q-Cone GS. Yeah, because you can't ever really make the Renans. What was the other option? Shojin plus Static Shiv. But, like, Shojin's not really BIS on any of these units. You want an item for Gwen here, ideally, for sure, because it's actually quite reasonable that we 3-star her. And so, like, this is the only item that actually works on Gwen. But now we have 7 Sejuanis. Also, when you're in such a commanding econ lead in a spot like this, it's actually very hard for the rest of the lobby to hold your units. Because, like, people can start pinging your board and saying, wait a minute, this guy has 8 Sejuanis. But then if you have 8 Sejuanis, then you just start rolling down for Gwens. So it shows how, like this patch, an early econ lead can make it almost impossible for you to be stopped. I was playing a game yesterday against a player who had, early stage 5 like this. They had like 5 Azirs, 5 Nasuses, 5 Luxes, and I tried to hold their Azirs and their Nasuses and their Luxes, but then, like you can't hold everything. I'm holding like an Azir 2 and 2 Luxes and 1 Nasus, and then they hit Nasus 3. The econ lead just gets spiked so much. And so moving the Guardbreaker over to the Ari here, actually. I completely forgot about this, but this is pretty cool. Once he hits Ari, too, especially now that he's not playing any challengers anymore, he makes the uh, adjustment that, Yasuo is not actually doing that much on this board. Maybe Ari can be our secondary carry, even though she does, actually she does decent damage this fight, right? Yeah. Honestly, like, if she gets to another caster, oh, she did not. Yeah, no mana item, but still 4,800 damage. Pretty good. 46 HP here. Ideally would like just some kind of mana item for Art, but I don't think, yeah, one does not exist on this, so he can just take like a tank item here. I think he just says F it. Titan Scion, which, like, I think the idea behind this, I mean, it looks a little troll, but I think it's not actually that troll. I think the idea is probably that you need more damage on this board. A little bit of extra damage on Scion will help. He also makes the adjustment now that, wait, we can get Zed in here. So 1 off Sejuani 3 rolls it down to 0 for the Sejuani 3, because that gives Slayer, of course. Find Sejuani 3. It is a naked Sejuani 3, as the kids say these days, or hopefully not. It has no items, so he's going to have to potentially move items over from the Cyan to the Sejuani 3. He actually uh, thinks a lot about this decision. He's like asking chat, asking if Bossos Kills is in his chat to help him with this, because like it's a little bit of a difficult decision, but I don't think it's that hard. Like I'm pretty sure um, it's always this over itemizing a Sejuani 3 over a Scion 2. He also fights someone who just FF'd, which is just, I mean, high roll, or in some ways low roll, because he doesn't get to farm his Spoils of War anymore. But he is now just one or two, just two off of hitting this Gwen 3. He makes the call here, I believe, to just roll it down on minions, because he's afraid that they're going to start rolling down to stop him. And it also just like goes to show it's maybe possible that one of his opponents could have won this game if they had denied the Gwen 3. Like you saw that he actually lost that fight earlier with the Sejuani 3. So maybe it's possible if, someone like Voidson hits a 3-star 4 cost, hits this like Kaisa 3 or something, that maybe they can win out if they also deny the Gwen. But, no one had either enough gold or just enough foresight to actually deny. Yeah, he ends up actually fighting this Azir 3 board, but two 3-star 4 costs, usually better than one. Does he end up beating the oh no, he's fighting Voidson here. So it'll be really cool to see the final fight between him and Asian Barney, because I mean those should definitely be the last two alive, and see if his board can end up winning, because two 3-star 4 costs generally should win, but we will see. It is definitely crazy that in this meta you can hit a 3-star Azir, and Asian Barney is probably guaranteed going second. We'll see how this fight ends up going. And then someone like Voidson, who has just a very strong cap 9 board, is just going to go third. But I mean, that's just how the meta is. Yeah, the Azir lives for a very long time, but the Gwen just does too much damage, takes him down, and then we have probably one or two fights left. So I thought this was a really cool game to show. A little bit of a high roll early game, but honestly nothing too crazy. Mostly just hit some 2-star units, didn't like high roll anything insane. Even the Yasuo's didn't end up like spiking his board really hard. But I wanted to show you guys this game because it just shows how one should play on this patch, and how much you're rewarded for solid TFT play on this patch. I know a lot of people are going to say it's a degen patch. Oh my god, I can't play the game right now. But like my super searing hot take, and I'm sorry for this take, is that this patch is insanely good. Like if I end up streaming tonight, I'm gonna try to stream tonight if I don't like burn out and play too much before tonight's stream. Um, my stream title is going to be "This is the greatest TFT patch of all time," and it's not even ironic. Okay, maybe it's a little ironic, but like it's not 100% ironic. Like it's actually it rewards solid play so much. I mean, the problem is that there's only one legend, and so you have to take the same augment every single game, and it decreases diversity of gameplay a ton. And also, he's losing this fight, right? Wait, this game was in a second, right? I didn't accidentally pick out a second from Wasian's games. Surely not. Maybe that was a positioning diff. Ooh, he gets double Zeeks here. He can slap one. I didn't see who got Cassante there. Was it his Sedge that got Cassante? Because if so, that would make sense. I mean, all he has to do is, yep, swap the Sedge. Oh, look at this. He actually second rows the Sejuani to guarantee that it doesn't get Cassante by the double Protector's Vow Cassante. And now Sedge can just be insane frontline. Gwen just goes like a heat-seeking missile to the backline and one-shots backline. So that's a first from Wasianiverson. I thought this was a really, really cool game to highlight. Look, only 18 minutes, man. The spot review went so fast because it's just so aggro. People died so fast. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys enjoyed this patch. I think it is a crazy, crazy patch. But like, honestly, I think it does reward really good TFT play. And yeah, hope you guys have a good time. Yeah, at the end of the day, if you don't have a good time, then take a break. That's completely doable. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye.